Hi, Jason Baker here with Rise Real Estate, and this is part 2 of how to submit an offer that wins in a crazy seller's market. So we left off with number 9, so what's next? Number 10. So number 10 is if you don't owe much on your home and you want to go into a situation where you can win, there's nothing more that a seller likes than a very high cash offer. So how do you get cash if you have a home to sell? Well, again, if you have a lot of equity in it, you can get the loan amount for the amount or more of the purchase of the next home or the home you're trying to buy. So you could get what we call a bridge loan or a home equity line of credit on the current home if there's enough equity, and just pay cash for that other one if that makes sense. That's very common and something that we're running into quite a bit. Number 11, if you do happen to have a house to sell, look, there's not a seller in the world right now that should or that does that I'm aware of take an offer where there's a house to sell and it's not even on the market. So if you have a house to sell, make sure it's on the market, make sure it's under contract. Well, everybody gets so paranoid that, well, I'll sell mine very easily, but I won't have a place to go. I completely understand that, but if you're a seller on the other end and you get 20 offers and 19 of them don't have a house to sell, and or if some of them do, it's at least under contract and past inspection, which offer do you think they're going to take? Why would they take your offer if there's way more layers of that onion to peel back, okay? Make sure it's under contract. So again, but for someone who's a seller that's looking to buy, how do we get around that? So we would put in the listing contract in any offer you get, subject to you finding suitable housing. We just had some clients sell their home for way over asking price, and the buyer, who was an amazing buyer, allowed them to stay in the home for, I believe, 4 or 5 months rent-free, and then indefinitely, and while their house is being built. So they hadn't even broken ground yet, okay? So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that a seller can get a buyer to do, and if you're a buyer, make it easy for the seller, that's for sure. Number 12, work with or be an experienced agent. So depending on who's listening to this, because lots of agents listen to it, but make sure that you're working with an experienced agent, because when that incoming offer comes in, okay, to me as a listing agent, I love to know who the agent is. So if you are working with that's one of the reasons why it's really hard to, I mean, think about it. You're spending $500, $600, $700, $800, over $1 million on a home, and you're going with your cousin Lulu or Billy Bob that just got their real estate license. So you're entrusting them with $1 million or whatever the amount is. I don't care if it's over $1,000 for me. I want to make sure, like, I'm not going to go use the agent or the attorney who just got his law license, or the surgeon for open heart surgery that just was, got done being an intern and got his medical license. And no, this is not going to happen. So experience matters, especially to the incoming listing agent who's submitting that offer, and that relationship is important. Now, you want to have it, number 13, you want to have an agent who is very responsive. So when these houses are coming out, usually within hours, there's offers, okay? Mostly under $600,000-$700,000. Some of the stuff that's over that takes a little longer. But the fact of the matter is that you have to be responsive, and so does your agent have to be responsive, because it could be under contract in a matter of seconds. So if you can't go look at it for 3 or 4 days, or you're not even in the state, sight unseen offers right now, despite what you read on the newspaper or online, why in the world would a seller take a sight unseen offer? Why? I mean, it's just like the definition of insanity. They're going to get other offers that the people have actually seen it, physically like it, obviously like the neighborhood, like everything about it, like the yard, like the inside, they see some things that they need to do, whatever else. A person who's sight unseen comes in, gets there during the home inspection or a couple weeks after they go under contract and says, I hate this. And then the seller, loses the transaction. And then everybody asks, well, why in the world did the sale fail? So number 13, you want to work with a responsive agent. And you want to make sure that your buyer's agent is making sure that the listing agent is responsive as well. And so experience really matters. Number 14. You should ask, or your agent should ask the listing agent, hey, how many offers are there on the home? And then also they should ask if they're holding the offers for a certain amount of time. So sometimes right now, we know that we're going to get 20 offers on a home. We're holding the offers for 5 days to give everybody ample opportunity to get in, look at the house, and then have enough time to go over those offers in a logical manner with the seller. So as a buyer, you need to know, and your agent should ask, how long they're holding them for, and then what their MO is going to be. Number 15, some listing agents are just no nonsense. Like, that's how we are. So we don't really ever do, very rarely, maybe 1% of the time, do we do something called a multiple counter offer. So we're always asking, and the buyer's agent should ask us, are you just doing highest and best, Jason? Or your agent should ask the listing agent, hey, are you guys doing highest and best? Or are you going to be doing multiple counter offers or whatever, okay? Also ask if they're going to do something called an escalation clause. So basically, what does the seller want to see here, or how do you operate? Your buyer's agent should ask the listing agent how they operate and what they like. We do not like escalation clauses, and we do not like multiple counter offers. We like your highest and best. Why? Because it shows me, and you should operate this way as a buyer, it shows me that you want to own this home a lot by your offer. If you start playing games with all these fancy little verbiages and stuff like that, it shows me that you just you're really not as committed as someone that says, so for instance, if the price is $500, you go, well, I'll offer $500, but I'll pay $1,000 more than the next highest offer that comes in. That shows me that you want to play games, in my opinion, if you're a buyer. A better thing would be, I'll offer $550. That's as a listing agent, I like to see that more, and my sellers have historically liked to see that more as well, rather than the game. Okay, show us how much you want to own the home by the offer. Okay, number 16, kind of back to this point. Don't play games. Number 17, ask us how many offers are in. It's a good thing for your buyer's agent, okay, to know how many offers are in the house. A lot of that has to do with how competitive you need to be right now. Number 18. Ask yourself if a short-term inconvenience, okay, i.e. letting the seller rent back from you for a few months, is worth a long-time financial gain. That's very important. Listen to that again. Ask yourself if a short-term inconvenience is worth, okay, if it's worth it to have that short-term inconvenience for a long-term financial gain or a home that you love, right? Number 19. Explain to the seller what you'll allow them to do. Again, it's so common that buyers are allowing the seller to do a rent back. Look, I'll give you X amount of months rent free, and then after that it'll be $1,500 a month, okay, indefinitely, or pay my mortgage payment for me indefinitely. I know that's hard because you want to move in right now. I get it. Maybe you're selling a home, etc. You want to know where you're going. This is one way to help you win, okay? Number 20, offer to pay the seller's closing costs as a buyer. Now, when this market shifts, it will invariably, it'll shift. This may not be necessary, but right now everything is getting multiple offers on it that's not overpriced. There are still homes, like people reaching, like there's been a few homes that were on the market for $700 that they took off the market and relisted at 1.2 like a few days later. Like, hello, like why is a buyer gonna, if they weren't paying $700 a few weeks ago, why are they gonna pay 1.2 right now? It's just not gonna happen. And then number 21, ask a listing agent if he'd like a steak dinner. Just kidding. Highly unethical. All right. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope that helps you learn how to win as a buyer. I hope this was valuable. If you're a seller and you're watching this and I've bored you to death for the last 5 minutes, now is an amazing time to sell. We will work it out where you can stay there till you find your new thing. I promise you. Okay. Please let me know how we can help. If you're a buyer, we know how to navigate. I'm teaching a course on this right now. You're listening to it. So we know how to win. So please allow us that opportunity. All right. And let us show you why it is a great time to buy right now. And that's so that you can take advantage of the future equity right there, or the tax write-off with the interest that you pay on your loan. And then also, in investments right now, there's still stuff that's cash flowing. So anyway, please let us know if you're interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And we'll show you how to get wealthy. Have a wonderful day. This is Jason Baker with Rise Realty signing off. Be looking for the next video in the next week or two. Thanks so much.